Oh, we investigated the shooting that happened to the 17-year-old female on Briartown. At the time of the incident, we took into custody the boyfriend who was inside the house, who also called 911. He has been with us ever since on some outstanding warrants. The statements that were initially put out there of a 20-year-old white male that fled in a silver Toyota, we've determined to be erroneous. The crime scene technicians and the detectives, through their investigation, the course of their investigation, have determined that the boyfriend appears to be the responsible party. There is no other suspect that we're looking for. He remains in custody here. The investigation is ongoing. It is active as we speak, but he is in custody for the suspected shooting. The entire case will be presented to the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office, hopefully later today, maybe even into tomorrow, where formal charges will be requested.
Do you think that original lie was just a diversion tactic?
I have no idea what that statement was made for.
Is he being cooperative at this point?
He has been cooperative.
What led you to him? What changed in your investigation?
Obviously, the investigation itself and the crime scene as it was assessed by the detectives.
How many shots were fired, Chief?
Can't answer. Weapon has been recovered. It is in our custody and in the process of being analyzed.
Where was it recovered? Did he ditch it on the property?
It was found within the house, yes.
Handgun?
Yes.
Can you give us any information on, what happens next with the investigation?
The investigation is ongoing. We are not done by far. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done. Obviously, we have forensics to this. We have statements, some follow-ups. As in any case nowadays, social media plays a large part in this. We're following up on all of that. And it is an ongoing investigation. We're confident that we have the person responsible in custody. There isn't a public threat. The statement of the 20-year-old white male and the vehicle that left the scene, we've ruled that out. That's not related to this case.
Has he confessed?
He's made statements to the investigators.
What do you think led up to the shooting?
Not going to discuss that.
What else can you tell us about him, where he lives, what he does for a living?
He's a 21-year-old male from the city who lives in the city of Detroit. And it's our understanding that it was a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
Where was she shot?
I'm not going to disclose that.
We understand she was shot in the head?
That's what we've heard.
Do you know how she's doing in the hospital?
She is in grave condition as last reported.
Do you know if she underwent surgery?
That I don't know.
Do you know what he's being held on right now, the outstanding warrants?
Right now, yes, the outstanding warrants that he has for him, and then obviously there'll be, once we meet with Macomb County prosecutors and review our case, I'm sure within the next 24 to 20 hours we'll probably have further charges.
What was the warrant? What were the warrants for?
I don't know specifically what they were for. They were misdemeanor and warrants out of the city of Detroit, if I recall correctly.
How many?
I believe there was 2 of them.
We heard reports that there were credit card skimming equipment that was found.
I'm not going to discuss what we found inside the house. It's just, it's again an ongoing investigation. It'll all be part of this, and we'll let the prosecutor make a determination on any further charges.
Will he have to be transported to Detroit police at any point for those?
He'll remain in our custody at least until he's arraigned on charges here.
Did the 911 call come in from his cell phone, from the home?
It came in. It was a cell phone call that came from inside that home. Who owns the phone? We're not going to release that.
Do you think he left the scene before calling and may returned? Or?
That I don't know.
Where was he taken into custody?
He was arrested on scene during the initial call. He was from the house, removed from the house.
You know anything about the history of a volatile relationship between these two prior to yesterday?
Another part of the investigation we're following up on.
Does he seem remorseful in any way?
I don't know what his, I haven't spoken to him, I haven't seen him, I don't know what his emotional state is. He has been cooperative with the detectives.
Anything else you can tell us about the victim, schooling?
17-year-old local resident. That was her house. Did live there with her mother. She was a student at Lance Cruz school system.
Is there anything you can say in general just about this? It seems to be a domestic violence situation with inside a home in your city.
I don't know if, I don't know what role the domestic violence has played into that at this
A
point.
boyfriend-girlfriend relationship?
Other than it was a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I don't know if there was domestic violence or an aggressor at one point. We haven't ruled that out. We haven't ruled it in.
Do you have previous runs to the house?
Not current.
Any idea how long they've been in a relationship?
No. Another part of the investigation we're following up on.
Is there anything that the public can do to help you with your investigation? I know you said social media.
Yeah, obviously, as I said, the social media plays a large part of this, and there's a lot of information, true or erroneous, that's out there that we have to follow up on. It's detailed, it's time-consuming, so yes, somebody has some information that may add to some of these questions that you've asked. You know, we'd love to hear them, and we'd love those individuals to step forward, identify themselves, and we'll follow up with them.
Did Mom say she knew the boyfriend?
I'm not sure if the mother was aware of the relationship or not. I can't speak to that.
So you don't, it wasn't a long relationship?
I don't know the length or the history of it. It appears from sources that are calling us that it was a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. The length, I don't know.
How many sources or how many tips like that have you gotten?
Again, social media, it's you get those tips, but you have to track down who they are. So that's one of the biggest components of this, is identifying who is calling and what they're saying on the social media side.
Chief, is there anything in the 21 versus 17? Is there any child laws here at all?
No.
At what point did you guys first get the 911 call for this?
I think the exact time was, the time, is that what you're asking
Yeah.
for? I think it was 3:17 in the
3:17.
afternoon, yeah.
And y'all, when you got there, you immediately took this boyfriend into custody?
He remained on scene until obviously the treatment was rendered to the victim and she was transported, and then the initial phases of the investigation, he was identified and the outstanding warrants came up, so obviously we held on to him from there.
At what point overnight did you realize he was the prime suspect?
It was evolving through the night. I mean, obviously the statement that was provided to us was something that we were also working on. The social media information was another aspect that we were working on. It was going in, we had people going in a lot of directions, following up on the leads.
What is the social media information?
The people would post stories about the victim or the relationship status that has been mentioned, and obviously we have to follow up on that.
Did his story stay consistent, or is that what led you to him? His story changed?
The story is his statements. I'm not going to get into and discuss. He's been cooperative.
Except for lying at the very beginning.
Wow. Again, that was part of the investigation, and obviously that's why we're here.
Are you still being assisted by New Baltimore?
We were assisted by just about every jurisdiction. Oh yeah, I mean, we had state police, we had FBI, we had ATF, we had agencies throughout Macomb County offer their services and support. As far north as Shelby Township, the chief called immediately. I had other chiefs from the Macomb County area. The sheriff's department, when the resources were unending, we could have had just about anything we asked for.
Some of those resources headed to the 21 Mile and Jefferson area.
We flooded the area with both marked and unmarked cars. When the initial broadcast came out that we were looking for a silver Toyota, the area was saturated not only with marked but unmarked cars, and detectives went door to door and business to business looking for potential suspects or leads.